It's me, Valkyrie. Welcome back. I'm here for episode 2 of Valkyrie Plays Minecraft. And I'm just waiting for the sun to come up here. I came up after doing some caving and found myself in an unfamiliar place. It was dark and I actually needed to quit for the night, so I made myself a pillar and a platform so I wouldn't freak out and fall when I logged back in. Seemed like a good plan at the time, so now I'm going to be trying to find home. I think it's this way. I'm pretty sure it's this way. We'll see. Anyway, I wanted to do another episode because I realized that actually the timing of the first posting, the first video that I put up was actually not great because we did that one episode, and now this week we're going to Gen Con. Monday and Tuesday are going to be pretty much occupied with, first of all, Pathfinder tomorrow, Monday, and then packing laundry, last minute preparations, taking the dog to the dog sitter, and making sure that my cousin, who is supposed to be feeding my cats while I'm gone, has a key to the house. And that's not going to take a ton of time, but I'm saying we have a lot to get done. So I wanted to do an episode, so I did a couple right away, so there wouldn't be one, and then a long delay between the first one and the second one. So anyway, we're going to Gen Con. We're leaving on Wednesday. I am really excited. I've been looking forward to this forever. I asked for the time off from work in January as soon as I knew for sure what the dates were and that we had a hotel room. And so I'm very excited. A couple things I'm looking forward to. Definitely Mercedes Lackey. She is a writer that I've loved since I was a kid. She was one of the very first authors to introduce me to, some science fiction and fantasy other than just The Hobbit. And I think The Hobbit is probably the first. I remember reading that in 6th grade. And I'm pretty sure I read Mercedes Lackey around that same time, and I consider that the first fantasy I ever read. Although if you think about it, stories for instance, The Black Cauldron. I remember seeing that movie when I was a kid. That was probably a very, very early introduction, to fantasy stories. I didn't really think of it as that at the time. I didn't really think of Disney movies in that light. But, they really are fantasy stories, talking animals, magic swords, witches and curses. But anyway, I've loved Mercedes Lackey for years, and I was really, really excited when I found out she was going to be at Gen Con, because I was going to Gen Con. Well, look, it's home. And I was going to, I'm going to a couple of seminars that she's teaching, and I'm also, or not teaching, but speaking at. She has a couple of hour-long, she actually has 4 seminars that she's running. I'm going to 2 of them, because, I do go to Gen Con to game, even though I love Mercedes Lackey. And I also picked up a hardcover copy of the first book I think I ever read that was by her, The Fire Rose. And anyway, I'm bringing that to Gen Con. The other books I have by her are either paperbacks or they're on my e-reader, and I wanted to get a nice copy to get for her to sign. I'm sure they'll also, I'm pretty sure the typical process is she'll also be selling a book. But since I wanted to bring the first book I ever read that was by her, the first book that introduced her to me as an author and that style of fantasy, I really just wanted that to be the book that she signs, and Larry Dixon will also be there, but I just, my favorite book's by Mercedes Lackey. I actually don't remember which ones were also by Larry Dixon, actually, but it's exciting that he'll be there too. But it's just, I don't know. It's Mercedes Lucky I get all verklempt about, if anyone remembers that from Saturday Night Live. Verklempt. Yeah, Howard isn't around anymore. You notice his absence from the front of my house. There was an unfortunate incident with a creeper, and the post that Howard was attached to was destroyed. The lead was gone. And Howard has moved. Howard is right there. Hi, Howard. Thinking about naming him officially and then putting a fence post around the roof here, but I think I want Howard to be free. I think he's happier being able to roam around a little bit. Anyway, this is my island. My island! And Howard is my watch pig, so he'll keep us safe. He'll keep us safer if he's free to move around. Although that creeper explosion is a black mark on his record. So anyway, looking forward to a very brief meeting with Mercedes Lackey while she signs my book. The first book of hers that I ever read. And so I'm very, very excited about that. And, what else? Obviously, that's very exciting. And, there's always, naturally, the things I really look forward to for Gen Con are finding new games, board games, role-playing games, card games. I look around for new things, new interesting-looking things, and I try not to be, fooled by the shinies, I guess. There are companies that put out really beautiful looking quality products. They're really well made, really, they look like they're fun. So then it's easy to breeze by, the games that are made on a lower budget, that look not quite as awesome, but it's not really their fault. They just have less of a budget. So maybe their card stock is thinner. Maybe they've just printed in black and white. That's really the kind of thing that I keep wanting to find at Gen Con. But, the Fantasy Flight booth is always distracting. And I managed to find a couple of things last year. For instance, there's this game called Murder of Crows. They just had a very small little area where they're standing and demoing the game. It was actually a very fun card game. And I'm glad I picked it up. And, I wouldn't have found it if I hadn't deliberately been looking for smaller titles. And, it turned out to be a pretty big hit. They didn't need my help. Anyway, I have a project in mind for today. And so I'm going to stop recording for now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build another portal. And actually, I want to make it look cool. So I'm going to take this obsidian. After I create a platform for it, I'm going to go into the desert. And I think it'll look pretty cool. I'm taking a little bit of inspiration from a school trip I took when I was in high school to Mexico. So, all right, so I will be right back. Hey guys, and we're back. I have been working on my little project. And it actually didn't take as long as I thought it would, so maybe I could have recorded this, but, well, now it's a little late. Well, as you can see, or maybe you can't see, this is a pyramid that I built, similar, I guess, inspired by the pyramids at Chichen Itza or Uxmal in Mexico, which is where I went when I was a senior in high school for our Spanish club trip. Actually, used to be pretty good at Spanish, but, time passes. You get less good at things when you don't practice them. So anyway, I decided that I would make a little pyramid in that style. Although if it was really in that style, I would use cobble, but I thought in the desert, I'm going to use sandstone. Sure about this part here. It looks cool to have that on the top, but actually we're going to be realizing that I should have done this differently because it's not going to be centered. Okay, well, that's what math will help you do if you think ahead. But since I didn't think ahead, we're going to why is this actually for real? 2, 3 in the middle is always going to be 3 in the middle. Yeah, Well, let's see how it looks, okay? No, that's... Yeah, okay. See, this is failure to plan ahead is what this is. So anyway, 1, 2, 3. We'll go right there. So we could maybe take the pyramids out of these two sides. Or the stairs out of these two sides. Now you see the secret of my construction is, in order not to make a bajillion pieces of sandstone and sandstone stairs, I filled in the center with cobblestone. So I guess it is sort of traditionally Mayan. Anyway. So it's not going to be perfect after all. So basically I was just looking for a cool way to present set up my nether portal. Because the nether portal is going to be at the top, which is why I hesitated when I saw, oh look, it's a multiple of 3 at the top instead of a multiple of 4. This is a problem, so I'm doing it like this instead. Because then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What am I doing to myself? Math is hard. So if I go up one more, it'll make it a factor of 3. 1. Just not going to work. I should have started with, 16 instead of 12. So that would be 16. This is going to be off center and it's going to bother me. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to increase the size of the pyramid. I'm just going to have to make it square because, otherwise it's just not going to look right and it's going to bother me. So I will, so I guess what I'm going to have to do is bring the corners out to here instead. No. To here. Oh, so I have to do that. Well, let's plan this out here a little bit better. Yeah, the base would have to be there. Well, then that isn't right there then. Okay, math is hard. Okay, so if I do this, then the corners would be this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15 here. Is where this is. This would be 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. Well, let's see. I'm going to draw this. So if I want the center, yeah, I've never claimed to be. I've never done this before. I've actually never made a pyramid before, surprisingly. So if I want the top center to be 2 by 2, and then the next one out needs to be 3 by 3. Wait, let's do this. I don't have graph paper. This seems like a tremendous oversight right now. Okay, so I bet you there's a math formula for this, and I'll probably try to puzzle out what it is. But since I didn't take a whole lot of math, once I realized that a computer major was not for me, which is a story for another day, it's getting dark. I'm going to think about this. Anyway, as I was saying, I usually don't sit around trying to think of math formulas for things. What is Duggernaut doing? He is up to something involving this spawner. I think he's making a farm. Okay, sleep. I'm borrowing his bed. I saw the bed here before, so I was going to sleep here if I had to. Yeah. Anyway, math. I'm going to think about this, and I'm going to fix the pyramid, and then we'll be back. Okay, we're back, and I think I've got this figured out. Well, I think I may have this figured out. This side is now correct. As far as the size goes, not finished, obviously. I wanted to, show my progress. Oh, dear. Okay. Yeah, filling in the insides with cobble because it's cheaper, I guess, if you want to, in terms of man hours. Cheaper than... Oh, hi, Mr. Zombie. I'm sorry, but the sacrificial pyramid is not yet open for business. Let's see, because the Quaddle is not interested in your... Oh, man. All right, never mind. Excuse me. This is too many zombies. Too many zombies. I think I gotta run for my house this time. Doesn't the house look nice and homey? Right, let's see, what was I saying? I think I figured it out. And it's, the stairs are now going to be 2 wide instead of 3, just to get the spacing right. And, I'm not... Look at that. But I know, but that's why I want to rest now. Okay. There. I just had to refuse to buy the Boy Scouts popcorn. That was junk on my desk. Well, actually knitting stuff on my desk. Let's see. Burn! Burn! Jerks! Wow. Whoa! Rats. Get to the water, get to the water. Whoa. There's a skeleton. What the hell? Wow. Good morning. Okay, so. There. Back to work. Okay, another skeleton. like there's something behind me. Not looking at you. Back off. Oh, sure, waste an arrow. Oh, maybe not. Okay, so back to the pyramid. This side is not, obviously not correct or complete or anything. So I want to get this done today before I sign out. So right here needs this. And I think I managed to build right over a cave. So right here, we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then dig here, right? So, because this is 14 across, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That one, see? Oh, who said a liberal arts education was worthless? I didn't. Okay, let's see. Oh. So, here, we're not even at the top of the pyramid. Realizing this. Right, so that's correct, that's correct. 2. Yeah, so then this is the last side to fix. And we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I think here. 1, 2, yep, I think I pretty much figured that out already. So this weekend, got a bunch of stuff I got a bunch of stuff done getting ready for our trip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, dang, rat. Okay. That is totally a word. Dagratted. Actually, it's 2 words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When I was very little, or when I was young, my dad had some very creative pseudo swears that he would use. For instance, dagratted. It said, rather than use the F-bomb in front of his kids, which I never heard him do until I was in my late, I think I was at least out of college by the time I heard him do that, because I think that was like the one thing he wouldn't do, like one, kind of word he would not use in front of us, no matter how mad he got. But now that we're all adults, I guess we're no longer allowed to not, or, he's no longer making that exception for us. And not that it's a big deal. I use F-bomb all the time. It was just the first time I heard him, say fuck. I was like, holy crap, Dad. You never said that in front of me before. And he was like, well, and he, got this embarrassed look at my cousin who had actually heard me swear in the past. Just was like, what do you have? This is one of my older cousins, it's like, what do you don't really have anything to say about that. I said, I know, but he's my dad. He has never done that before. It's weird, Understandably, it's sort of shocking for me to hear. And I don't know if my cousin really bought that, but no, seriously. I mean, the first time, if you think your dad's just sort of above that kind of cursing, it's sort of surprising. First time he does it. I mean, not that he was above swearing, because he wasn't. But more along the lines of, there's some words he didn't use around his daughters. Or like, You know what I mean? Anyway, I don't remember how I got on that particular tangent, but here we go. I'm going to move the torches because I want it to be every other level, not every level. Alright, so this one, this one. So we're building a temple to, well, not a temple to the nether, but a pyramid which leads to the nether. So I was, in my senior year of high school, we went on a trip to, like I said, the Yucatan Peninsula. We saw Chichen Itza, we saw Uxmal, we saw a couple other places, a bunch of other places, and there were these pyramids that were a lot like this. Like they had the basic sort of squarish base, and then they had 4 sides, and there were stairs that went up the center to a room at the top. You go inside. There was very little to see in there, but it was interesting. I climbed the pyramid at Chichen Itza to check it out. I did not do it at Uxmal because I was extraordinarily sunburned from when I climbed the pyramid at Chichen Itza. And I was like, I think I've had enough of, climbing a hot stone structure just to peek inside. So yeah, that's a little off center, but I think it's okay. I think it'll be okay. I may think of ways to improve this, but I'm pretty happy with that. I think. Maybe not. Let's see what I can do. Oh no, the torch was fine there. Because what I don't like is like the stark black stuff right here. And anyway, well, that was not the first time I had been to a foreign country without my parents. But the first time was when I was 16. I went to Bolivia. But I thought that was, I had a I don't know. I was pretty excited by going to Mexico. I liked going to a foreign country where I could speak the language, and I could speak the language. I was pretty good at Spanish, but a lot of practice now. Maybe I should just leave that there for contrast. Yeah, let's leave that there. And I'd like to go back someday. I'd like to get my Spanish back and go to another country again. Just to travel and see more of the world. I would like to go back to Bolivia one day. I would like to, I would like to actually go to Spain or somewhere in Europe. My sister was living in England for a while. I thought it was going to be for longer. I was actually trying to get money together for a trip to go visit her because she was going to have a baby. 3, 4, 5, 6. And over here, I'm going to do right there. There. Yeah, I like this. This is less mine and influence. But that's okay. Anyway, I was, getting the money together. I was going to visit her at Christmas time last year because, she had moved to England with her husband because that's where he's from. And, I thought they were going to be there for a while. How many more do I need? A bunch. All right, we're going to steal the Argonaut's bed again. Whew. Quetzalcoatl is a Mayan god. Anyway, for those that didn't know. Well, now I have some sand. So I was actually very recently going to go overseas. Last year, I guess, actually, in 2012. But then they wound up. I have to fill this in. This is terrible. Anyway, but it fell through because I was planning to go at Christmas time of. Well, that doesn't work. That does not work. It's not the same kind of. No, bad. Anyway, I was planning to, as I said, go to visit them. You know, my niece was about 6 months old, and she's just cute as a button. And I was looking forward to going to England, seeing a little bit of England, and seeing my sister. But then they decided to move back to the States because they like it better here. So I'm sure there are other reasons. But anyway, they are back here now, which makes it so much more convenient if I wanted to see my niece. But basically, that was the last time I had really thought about going on a trip overseas or anything like that. I would like to again sometime, and it just hasn't fit in the agenda recently. Like once a year we go to Gen Con, and that's usually where my money goes, or my savings go for trips. One big trip a year ends up being a gaming convention. Someday that might change, or some year we may decide to go somewhere else. There. But, anyway, I guess I was just talking about, I have not traveled overseas in quite some time. But my first trip was when I was 16. Second one was when I was 18. And I would love to go again. I'd love to improve my Spanish and go on another, trip to a Spanish-speaking country or anywhere, really. I would have loved to go to England. Love to see Spain or anywhere in Europe. I haven't even been to Canada, and I'm in Wisconsin, so you would think that it would not be a challenge for me to get to Canada, but I just haven't. So anyway, this looks pretty good. It looks much better anyway. Let's make a path just here. Probably could make the pyramid hollow and put something inside, but I think that's something to plan another day. What else have I got here? Just cobble. That will look terrible. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, does not look any different. Anyway, we'll just put sand back there. I had sand. Sand, here's sand. We would need something else to contrast along this path. Meantime, I would Why did I do it that way? That's... Okay, good enough. Right now, there. So here we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right here, it's more torches. Just doesn't look, it doesn't look quite enough like you're walking up here to be sacrificed, I guess. Anyway, there we go. And there we have it. Our portal. All right. Okay, so I think I'm pretty happy with this. Thank you very much for watching again, and we'll have more episodes soon after I come back from Gen Con. Hopefully, I hope to have some good stories to share about the trip, and well, I hope you have a great week.